Imagine getting paid just for sharing your thoughts on products and services you use every day. With Survey Junkie, it's that simple. Click on the link in the video description to discover how you can start earning today by taking surveys.
To view this video, please enable JavaScript and consider upgrading to a web browser that supports HTML5 video. Doctor Climax is coming, to Netflix tomorrow, and your possible new TV obsession was partially inspired by real correspondence. The comedy drama set in 1970s Thailand follows Dr. Nat, who once dreamt of being a novelist, and so begins anonymously writing a sex column, The Climax Question. Readers can ask him anything about the world of sex and relationships, and he offers his detailed advice. The column was considered revolutionary as the subject matter was still seen as taboo, and so wasn't openly discussed. The feature becomes so popular as he tackles topics such as STDs, foreplay, and masturbation, that newspaper sales dramatically increase. As a result, people become determined to uncover who is behind the words, something Dr. Nat, who wishes to keep his identity a secret and continue just being known as a skin doctor, does not welcome. That's not the only thing going on for Dr. Nat. While working his side hustle, he forms a close bond with the newspaper's art department head Linda, which has the power to ruin his relationship with his wife Tukta and bring shame on his family. The directors and production crew behind the series worked hard to recreate a realistic 1970s Thailand. They were able to do this by drawing on personal memories, as well as using old photos, interviews, and movies sourced from the Thai film archive. During that time, the country had just undergone political turmoil, was still in the throes of the Cold War, and other significant events were continually in the air, said Kongdej Jatran Razmi, the series screenwriter and director. People felt constrained by societal norms, yet simultaneously were striving to break free and assert their own freedoms. Sexuality impacts individuals on a personal level, within households, and extends to society as a whole, so I think sex is a good tool for discussing the broader picture of society, Kongdej added. The original idea for the show came from a real sex QA column, which was presented to Kongdej by producer Ekachai Yukrongtham. Ekachai shared with me his idea of turning a sex QA column into a series, so I started reading some samples of the published letters from that era, he explained to Netflix. They made for a really great read and also reflected many social issues from that time. That was when I came up with the concept of a doctor who answers questions about sexual issues, as well as the other characters, the column, and the publisher. Through this story, we can examine humanity and society, with nods to real-world events from that period. The Bangkok Post reports that the best-known sex column in Thailand during the period that Dr. Climax was said is Sep Som Bo Mi Som by Dr. Naporn, which ran on Daily News. Fellow director Parak Kumwan said, "Today's viewers might wonder why a QA column about sex was such a big deal back then, but I feel this could be a refreshing and novel story." Dr. Climax not only entertains but also raises thought-provoking questions. The leading character Dr. Nat will be played by Tershantavit Donasevi, who has starred in Thai rom-coms Hello Stranger, ATM, Air Rack Error, and One Day. Speaking about his role, 40, said, "He lives a robotic existence devoid of pleasure, fun, or vibrancy." However, everything changes when he becomes a columnist. Goyarakaporn Pokinpakorn, 30, takes on the role of Linda, and describes her character as possessing a rebellious spirit that defies the social mores of the 1970s, a time when women's liberties were still limited. They are joined by Pruchermawi Suan Panyachok as Tukta, Tunhan Tantavejikal as Perm Pol, and Tab Chewat Thong Sang as Thong Tien. You can buy a house for £2.50 in this beautiful village surrounded by wineries. This spectacular Nottingham flat with a cave cinema could be yours for £300,000. What I own, I live in a £965,000 baby castle in the Brecon Beacons with my husband. Martin Lewis issues warning to all London renters. You could be owed thousands. This £4.25 million London townhouse was once the last stop for 200,000 dead bodies. Dr. Climax is available to watch on Netflix from June 13th. Viewers can watch all 8 episodes of the series.